and welcome to Charts and Hearts. I'm Sarah, and she's Lindsay.
And together we're working our way through an epic list of rom-coms in order to find and categorize tropes in the hopes of creating the nerdiest spreadsheet that podcasts have ever seen.
Happy 2025.
Yay!
We're recording this on New Year's Day, and our first month in 2025 we're doing good Netflix movies, and by good we mean the ones that we like that are also rom-coms.
Yes.
That we haven't yet done.
Correct. That's the perfect description.
Yes. First up is Set It Up from 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This was the first one where I was like, Netflix can make good rom-coms?
Yeah.
Are we doing it? Hooray!
Apparently. This is the one with Taye Diggs and Lucy Liu and Glenn Powell before we really knew about Glenn Powell and Zoe Dutch.
Yes, from last month.
Yes. So, yeah. I think we'd both definitely seen this before, right?
Yeah, I think I watched it when it came out-ish, and then
I
maybe
think so.
a time, when you want to watch a rom-com.
Yeah, I have no recollection if I watched it again, but it was very enjoyable. I had, vague recollections of the plot, but not, the specifics when I watched it.
Oh, yeah, me too. And it's
weekend.
just, who knows what I watched during 2020. It
Well,
probably
exactly.
was in there somewhere.
Seems plausible. Okay, should I do a quick plot summary?
Quick synopsis, yeah.
Okay, so Charlie, the two young people who are the people who are going to get together at the end, Zoe Dutch and Glenn Powell, they are assistants working in the same building, but their bosses are the higher ups at two different offices in the same building. So Lucy Liu is a sports journalist and Taye Diggs is a finance bro.
I think he's a VC.
He's the chief finance bro. It doesn't really matter.
No,
and so they're
not
both
at all.
assistants. They sort of meet at ordering food because one of them doesn't have money and one of them forgot to order dinner for their boss. And so they're trying to, solve that problem together. But in a slightly antagonist way. And then they have the brilliant plan that if they set their bosses up together, then they would have more free time because their bosses would be busy dating and not demanding at work.
Yes.
And so they do it, and very quickly the bosses get engaged, but then the assistants, because not because they actually like each other, but because the assistants are manipulating them because they know their bosses so well, but then they also find out that Taye Diggs is still sleeping with his ex-wife, and even though he's engaged to Lucy Liu, and so then they the assistants sort of have a disagreement about how to handle that, and then Glenn Powell in the end does the right thing and tells them about it in a very dramatic scene at an airport, and then he gets fired. Well, they both get fired at various points, but she gets hired back, right?
It's unclear. It sounds
Okay.
like she's gonna maybe be a writer person, not an assistant.
Yeah, or she maybe doesn't get hired back, but is not antagonistic, and he gets fired. But that's because Taye Diggs is an asshole, and he's the villain in the story. So and they both, neither of them want to be assistants. They both are ready for the next step in their career, but doing the assistant thing for the connections, not because they're good at their jobs. And then they get together at the end.
Yes.
Because he, waits outside her office, and, Lucy Liu, what do they call it? The guy from...
Oh, Cyrano.
Yeah, Lucy Liu Cyrano's them back. Because they talk about it being Cyrano. Cyrano, who, is the dorky guy who, is setting up the thing in Cyrano.
Yeah, you better brush up on that before we get to later this spring. Hint.
Yeah, we'll come back to that trope.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she sets them up to meet outside of the office building, and then they get together, and it's very cute. And yeah, and there's some really fun side characters that we didn't touch on, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So before we get to anything, I didn't write this down because I don't know if you know this, and if you don't, this is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Zoe Dutch, whatever.
Yeah.
Mom? Leah Thompson.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
I had no idea.
Me neither, until
because they have different
I went-
last names, which is often how
it works.
moms and who don't
Yeah.
change their name. Yeah.
Because they, like, it's not, I didn't know, like, I noticed that they use Power of Love in this, and it's obviously anytime any movie ever uses Power of Love now, they're like, this is in reference to Back to the Future. And I'm like, sometimes it
But
is,
why?
and sometimes it's just, like it is when they use it in
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine this
Yes.
summer. This one, they used it probably because of this,
it's
and
from
that's why it
yeah.
was in the trivia.
Uh-huh.
And it, like, I was shocked. Like, I have huge cap locks notes. I was like, what? How did I not know this?
Now that
Anyway.
I look at her, I'm like, how did I
Yeah,
not
right?
realize this?
When I went to her IMDb after that,
Yeah.
the photo of her is pretty old, and I was like, oh, yep. Anyway.
Yeah, like there's a
Blew
picture
my
of her on
mind.
her IMDb, like wearing like a V-neck silver dress, and I'm like, yeah, if you kind of like squint your eyes and like, yeah, it could entirely be Leah Thompson. So that's
Yep.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love Leah Thompson.
I know, me too. So that's exciting and random.
That
Hooray!
is super random. Okay, observations other than
Yes.
that.
Yes. Taye Diggs is attractive. There's an observation
Agreed.
for you.
Yes, a very valid observation, and he plays a really compelling asshole. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
like,
almost
they're-
believe that he gets over it, and then he does not.
Yeah. They're both really good. Lucy Liu's amazing, as always.
Oh my god, I love her so
and
much.
and her, like, because they both start as asshole bosses, and her
Yeah.
arc is surprising because you don't know how it's gonna go when she, like, the big truth reveal and all that stuff, and she's
Yeah.
like, is like reactive as she should be, but
Yeah.
then turns into a nice mentor person. But also you believe that it's not like a weird shift of like, oh, she's
No,
nice.
it's an earned arc for
Yeah.
her character. Yeah, and like maybe she can figure out being successful without the craziness because like she, things still went well other than her assistant, like manipulating her. But
Yeah.
like things still went well even when she was taking weekends off and
Yeah,
not working
exactly.
a
So, like,
million
she
hours
doesn't
and-
need to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Till midnight every night. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. Oh yeah, Glenn Powell's name is Charlie Young.
I know. I was like, he had a nameplate, and I was like, this is on purpose? Probably? I don't know. It seems weird, but
I would
like
assume not, but it's maybe just like a fun coincidence of like they
Yeah,
landed
or
there
it's
and
on
they kept
purpose.
it. Yeah.
it. Yeah. Anyway. Yay. Oh, yeah. There's a moment where after they go to the party and there's a bunch of tropes that we'll talk about, they do get drunk pizza, and the way that they act about the pizza is just so real.
Yeah.
I've had
very
all
honest.
of these
They're
feelings about drunk pizza before.
And also it's strange to me that they like resisted eating the pizza until they got
I know. That was
home.
weird. Like,
that was the only like not believable part. Because it wasn't like it was super cold because they'd been at a rooftop party.
yeah, it was summer. I'm like, it's 2
Yeah.
a.m. in New York. You can sit on a bench and eat pizza.
Yeah.
No one's gonna,
Yeah. But then
whatever.
you don't get all the hilarious of
Yeah.
them like climbing the fire exit and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zoe Dutch's character has like a really great arc that I think is actually done well. Like I think we've called out a lot of the like, oh, this person's hair's messy, therefore they're a like disaster in all aspects of their life. But she goes through like an interesting arc of sort of being put together and then getting more frazzled and then getting more put together and then like sort of they use it in a more compelling way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is nice. And that's when I was like, I bet this was written by a woman. And it was written by a woman and also directed by a woman. So that
Yeah.
tracks of like the ways that a woman can like have some of her shit together or like anybody, but also that women are just like anybody and you can have some parts of your life together and some parts falling apart. And it doesn't all
Yeah.
have to be in your hairdo.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, she's obviously like, she's messy at the beginning because she's busy. And then like it gets better because she has time, but also like because she has this time, she's like having a personal life and her life is getting better, but also it's not because she's still not writing and all. And then like obviously she backtracks when she starts writing again, and like all of the stuff you can see is a woman because like that ridiculous cozy blanket jacket thing that she wears at the end, like only a woman would pick that out as a realistic thing for someone to wear. Like the fact that she's, because in the tropes, like she is kooky and quirky and snacky,
Yeah.
but that isn't that's like a lot of the way that she's dressed isn't because she's quirky. The way that she's dressed at the beginning is because she doesn't have time. Like it's a very different thing than if a man was going to be like, she's quirky, so therefore she can't be bothered to dress nicely, you know.
Or like she's quirky, so she wears like non-professional clothes to the office.
Yeah,
and
clothes to work.
No, she just wears like wrinkled clothes or like the same clothes because she's super busy, or she like slept at the office.
Yeah, exactly. Like she was there till midnight, so she's wearing a button-up flannel and it has a hair bun. Like, oh no, what are we gonna do? She can still do her job. So it's a really like subtle way that like I didn't clue into until this time.
Yeah,
of just like showing how she's changing, whether not all the way forward, definitely back.
No, it's
forward
like,
again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's non-linear.
Yeah.
And then he also gets like less put together as he stops trying to sort of impress people and like becomes more himself.
Yeah.
Which I all thought was interesting also.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like in the end, he doesn't know what he wants, and that's
he's like just temping and trying to figure it out, and he's just wearing like shorts and a t-shirt and a baseball hat. Like whereas you know when he's really trying to impress all the like you know the other finance bros at his office, and all, like when he's the sort of perfect assistant, he's wearing like a super well put together suit, and then when things get more relaxed at work, he gets like less put together because he's like less focused on that. So his stuff kind of ebbs and flows too, which was cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay,
yeah, like he wears a suit to the Yankees game, which is dumb. Anyway, yes, okay,
an interesting
tropes.
Choice. Okay, tropes.
Being a personal assistant is horrible. Like it's a whole montage at the beginning.
Yeah,
and
of
like
how terrible things are,
of how terrible it is, and I'm updating making the new spreadsheet. I don't think I have Devil Wears Prada. I haven't caught up to that backlog yet, but I'll add this back in unless it's there. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I was getting confused because there's also The Hating Game, which was a book and a Netflix movie, which is not with these two people, but with two people who look almost exactly the same. One of them is Lucy Hale and a random dude. Yeah. But they're also PAs who hate each other, and I'm just like, oh my god. But
I think I did watch that, and it wasn't very good.
No, the book was better. Yeah. But anyway, the whole thing of like being a PA is horrible. Like, obviously, yes, people are crazy and all of this stuff, and can be crazy, but also it's your job, but also, you know, whatever.
Yeah, like it entirely depends on the place you work and your boss and stuff. Yeah. We do have. She doesn't really. I mean, she kind of is important, but she's not that important. We have the dumb, ditzy, beautiful, but too young girlfriend, Suze. So yeah, Charlie has a girlfriend who's like has no personality, but that's like the point of her. Like I'm sure she does have a personality. She just has no interest in dating Charlie other than for his finance bro connections. Like when he doesn't get promoted, she is less and less interested with him.
Yeah, it's less of the typical shitty ex-boyfriend, you can do better, and more of the you want her because that's part of your lifestyle of that you think you want.
Like, he's expected to have a model influencer person as a girlfriend. Yeah. And she's expected to have a hot finance bro as a boyfriend. Yeah. Like, they have no actual interest in each other. Yeah. Plus, you know, like a 6-year age gap or something.
Yeah. So they do have a fun meet cute, and then they call out that they have a meet cute. So that's nice. I like it.
And also they talk about creating a meet cute for their bosses. Yeah. Which then is a very awkward. Very awkward, but and gross elevator scene. They have fun friends. So she has a fun roommate who's hilarious, like somebody who dated a lot, and then now has met this like sort of normal, boring guy that she's like head over heels in love with is the roommate, and then his roommate is what's his face?
Pete Davidson
playing the like gay best friend who also has lots of sex with random people. But is like he and Zoe become BFFs like immediately.
It's really fun. I like them. They're very like they're not there like the her best friend is there to like get her out of her shit later, and Pete is just there to be sassy. And look, he does drop some truths as well, so like it's nice. I like that they have friends basically,
and for them to like have conversations about what's happening in their life, which is like important for
and spoiler alert for later, it's not at all about the other person.
No,
Like, it's about their jobs and, like, obviously about the bad boyfriend, bad girlfriend, Suze. But, like, everything that Zoe Judge talks to her roommate about is about her job and her career and nothing about
this boy.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Or her random golf guy.
Oh, yeah, the mini golf guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about him because he is very inconsequential.
Yes, forgettable. And doesn't have a real name. He's just called Golf Guy, even in the credits.
Amazing.
New York. It's very New Yorky.
Very.
But not tropey. Like, they go to a Yankees game, but that's it. They work in New York, and that's...
Yeah, it's more just the general setting. Like, there's lots of rooftop parties and... Yeah.
Yeah. So this isn't enemies to lovers, but they're setting up enemies to lovers, kind of, but not really. Like, it's one of those...
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts.
They're sort of rivals more than enemies. Both couples. Mm-hmm. Because they're like competing, but I wouldn't say it's not strong enough to be enemies, but...
No.
But then they get the good thing of, like, the two leads are, like, working on a project together, which is always a great way to, like, develop a relationship, because they're, like, solving problems and collaborating and stuff, so, yeah.
Yeah, and helping each other out.
Oh, and then we've got, she's so quirky and kooky and eats snacks. And, like, I loved when she had the popcorn in her hoodie.
I know.
She's very obsessed with popcorn, which always makes me think of Lindsay, also obsessed with popcorn.
Except I use bowls.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm classy.
Because you're not in a rom-com trying to be quirky.
Yes. Also true, I'd have to do my own laundry, and I don't want to deal with that.
Exactly.
I don't know Zoe enough to see if she's always cast like this. I've only seen her in rom-coms, so hopefully I'm assuming she can do more things, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen her. Has she been in anything serious? I would assume.
No idea.
Seems like it. But yeah, I've only seen her in comedies, and romantic comedies at that. Yeah, we do have some fun random dancing that's really good.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Like, they're both really drunk at the her roommate's engagement party, and they're, like, trying to dance, and he, like, in his drunkenness becomes sort of free and liberated, and her, in her drunkenness, becomes, like, paranoid that people are watching her. Yeah. And then, of course, I feel like this should also be a trope, but I think it's covered by random dancing, is it goes from a fast song immediately to a slow song.
Yeah, immediately.
Like,
every time.
Have to dance. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time. I'm like, when have I been at a thing that's happened?
Like, the vibe changes that hard?
That hard? Like, at weddings? No, because that's why you have a DJ. We're like, okay, we're going to take it down now for the lovers.
I feel like high school dances.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, vibe
but that's
shift.
because that's the point of high school dances, so that you can then, you can ask the boy you like to dance at the fast song, and then he just has to ask you to do the grade 8
dancing. Yeah.
Frankenstein dance. I'm doing it right now. You guys all know what I mean.
Yep.
Dance.
Yep.
And and that's how it goes.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, good times. Glenn Powell does some running. It's actually really funny because he runs out of the restaurant when he has this, like, big realization, and then he realizes he has, like, 4 hours, and then he dicks around and has to run anyway. It's good times.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great.
But he's not running to get the girl. He's running to do the right thing and break up Tate Eggs and Lucy Liu, and I really like that. It's like a flipped on its head, but you still get the running. You still
you get the dramatic.
Glenn Powell running. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the dramatic scene, but it's like he's doing the right thing, not just to get the girl. He's just doing the right thing. Yeah. With no expectation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it ends with a really good kiss on New York streets and A+.
Yep.
A+. Okay. Lindsay, does this movie pass the Bechdel test?
Yes, because it was written and directed by a woman.
Yeah. And, Zoe and her roommate have conversations about work. Zoe and her boss have conversations about work, like, both of their careers and just, like, workplace things. Yeah. No.
And also, completely. And how hard it is to be a woman. Like, Lucy Liu talks a lot about, like, not being invited to things because she's not having a baby or getting engaged or all of these things. Like,
yeah, it's like she, didn't want to go, or, like, she was always sort of shunned at baby showers and so stopped going to them until she was engaged. And then, poof, people are magically excited to talk to her, even though, like, she's started this amazing, like, independent...
Website?
Like, sports journalism website, and but because it doesn't involve babies and marriages. Yeah. Good times. Okay, let's make a pie.
This one was a little hard.
Yeah,
but I came up with some really random things. So power outfits on Lucy Liu. She looks incredible always.
Yeah. Oh my
but
God.
she's got some really awesome like business suits,
like
business
suits and business dresses
and
pantsuits.
stuff. She's like
yeah,
like Rebecca Welton, but Lucy Liu's style.
yeah,
Basically.
yeah. But like they spent a lot of wardrobe money on her outfits, and it shows, but in a great way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's because Zoe was wearing like Old Navy the entire time, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, and that's the sort of the point.
yeah.
Okay, Bluetooth phone headsets. Yes, stronger. Oh wait, sorry.
Oh,
power
yeah.
outfits. What percentage power outfits? Like
15?
yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah,
And
Bluetooth
then,
phone headsets.
they're very important.
They are, like, when you're assisted, obviously, like, that's the point of... They just have so many phones and so many
Yeah.
headsets, and, yeah.
Yeah, like 35? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and then there's this recurring bit of the Mexican restaurant waiter who just wants a tip, or for them to, like, actually order food that they pay for.
Not, like, stealing their chips.
And he's very funny and, like, just a fun sort of recurring bit, and also sort of helps reinforce the whole thing of, like, she has, like, what you would think is a good job, but because it's New York publishing, she's probably making, like, $15 an hour at the most.
Yep.
I don't know, like 20? Mm-hmm. Or 15?
15, I think.
15. I think it's, equivalent to Lucy Liu's outfits.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is with 35.
Yes.
Yes.
35% for Glenn Powell's dimples.
Yep.
Oh my God. They carry a lot of this movie.
Especially because his hair wasn't great.
No, his hair's much better now.
Yeah, and like it might have been
like 6 years
fine
ago.
in 2018 when I didn't know how much better it could be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, like, but I don't know. He just like flashes a dimple and you're like, oh, yeah, okay. This is why you are now in all of the movies.
Yeah, I remember I was watching it and thinking about his dimples about that when I was on the plane, and someone was watching Twister on her phone, and I looked over Twisters, and it was the white shirt in the rain scene, and I was like, this is a sign that this is the plane I'm supposed to be on.
But also, side note about that scene, like everybody hyped up him like running in a wet t-shirt through a rainstorm.
Yeah.
And like it was good, but it was like 15 seconds long. Like it was
I know, it was not
so
long
short.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I'm saying
Anyway.
it needed to be longer, but for the amount of hype it got,
Yeah.
it was very short.
Yeah.
Okay. Lindsay, what is next for them?
I'm kind of on the fence with these guys. They understand
Yeah.
each other. They were friends for a long time and they worked well together.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But they're very young, and they both at the end are going through like huge career changes. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like a definite like happily ever after for now. Like I think they will date and it'll be fun. And then will it continue? I don't know, because they're like in their mid to late 20s and going through massive career changes, and your priorities shift, and if they can figure that out together, great. Like I believe they could, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I'm okay with it. I think they're going to have a nice time together. Yeah. And then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, hopefully they're just like good to each other, and you know, if they don't stick it out in the long term, that's fine. Like, not everybody that you date needs to be the person you marry, even in rom-coms.
Exactly. I feel better about them than I do a lot of the couples on
Like I think they would at the very least have like a good, healthy relationship, even if it isn't like the forever relationship.
Yeah.
And Lindsay, what's next for us in good Netflix movies land?
Well, this is where the good really becomes hard quotes. Because we're doing Falling in Love. Two ends. And this movie rocks, but in the
love this
bad
movie
way.
so much, but it's not good. But that's not the real criteria. The real thing is like movies on Netflix that are high quality and we enjoy.
Exactly. So, highly recommend you watch this one because it really has everything I'm looking for in a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
But
Yep. It's very delightful.
Yes.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end of our episode. We would love it if you could leave us a rating or a review wherever you get your podcasts, or you can find us on social media. We're at Charts and Hearts Podcast on Instagram and Threads.
You can also head to our website, chartsandhearts.com, where you can submit your suggestions for rom-coms and tropes for us to add to the list. You can also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/chartsandheartsclub. Last month for Patreon, we did something from Tiffany's, which was Zoe Ditch. And this month we are doing Always Be My Maybe, which I'm really excited about.
I'm very excited. I haven't seen that movie for so long.
And you know how we feel about Keanu on this podcast.
And also, our Patreon's only $2 a month, so come join us. It's delightful.
Come join us. Do you want to hear us
backlog
gush about Keanu and point out all of the places that we've been to and Always Been My Maybe because it's filmed in Vancouver? Come join us. And also, then you can listen to our episode about Speed. So why not? Yeah. That's worth $2 right there.
I should hope so. And we would love to hear your thoughts on this movie. And in the meantime, there were too many good quotes in this movie. I couldn't pick one.
Oh my god, you got so many.
I know. I don't know which one to do. Okay. And in the meantime, men should want women that are going to keep the coziest, warmest caves. Men need shelter. I am guaranteeing shelter. And also, I want to fuck this pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.